Hi folks, SMK Gaming here. Around this time of year we usually start speculating what the next Battlefield game might be, with a trailer coming up around 18 months after the current game is released, which would make it May this year. Well, that will not be the case this May. We still have the best part of 2 more years left of Battlefield 5, with no trailer expected for the new game until May 2021. Other creators have made videos speculating on what the next Battlefield game might be. Will it be Battlefield 6? Or will it be Bad Company 3? Well, that is not going to be the topic of discussion within this video. I'm going to discuss the features I would like to see in the next Battlefield title and the direction I feel the next game should take. As it turns out, it does not include much of what we got on Battlefield 5. No real surprise there. The first feature I would like to see make a return to the game are field upgrades that reward good squad play. I feel this is a much fairer way of doing things than what Battlefield 5 currently does, with the squad leader only being able to call in reinforcements. For those of you that are not familiar with this field upgrade concept, it was in the games prior to Battlefield 1. Think of it a bit like the current combat roles in Battlefield 5. For the medic class, you can select either combat medic or field medic roles, any of those perks active during the game. But on Battlefield 4, you had a progression system where you could select which route you would like to go, and depending on your style of play, you could have shadow, defensive or attacking routes for each class. In game you would earn points for squad play, for example, reviving squad mates, spawning on squad mates and giving ammo and health as well. As you played through a round, you would see a bar begin to fill up, and that was broken up into sections. Once you filled up one section, you unlocked the field upgrade you selected for that section. For example, the ability to revive faster. Then you would progress on to unlocking the second upgrade, which could have been the ability to give out 2 medic crates instead of 1. If your squad ever got squad wiped during the game, you have lost all the progression you made so far, and you were put back to level 1 again, losing all the upgrades regardless of where you were at that point in time. You had to start from the very beginning again. This system of rewarding squad play was fantastic in my opinion. You not only got rewarded for playing as a squad, but you got to choose and personalise those perks to suit your style of play. DICE will most likely carry on with this live service into the next Battlefield game, and this would be the perfect system to implement in that game. They could release new field upgrades as part of the live service, and they could be unlocked in weekly tasks, or they could be unlocked across the months in the Tides of War they currently do in Battlefield 5. It adds more content to the game also, in addition to the new cosmetics, new guns and new gadgets they release. So hopefully by now you have some kind of an idea of what I am talking about, but if not, no worries. Here's my concept idea of how I think it should work in the next Battlefield game. As before, you have offensive, defensive and shadow options for each class. For demonstration purposes, I will show my ideas for the defensive medic, which has 12 options. An offensive medic would have 12 other options, and a shadow medic would have another 12. So there would be 36 different field upgrades in total for the medic class, and it would ideally be the same for all other classes throughout the game. Here is the defensive medic upgrade tree, otherwise known as a field medic. Think of them as the player that holds back, reviving and healing teammates that aren't very mobile and moving around. You have 4 options in each section to choose from. Of course, as the game moves on, DICE could add more and more options. In the first section, you have the reviving field upgrades. Now before I go into these reviving upgrades, I want to just discuss a little bit about the actual reviving itself. In my opinion, it should not be like the reviving in Battlefield 5 or Battlefield 1. More like the revive we got in Battlefield 4 or Firestorm. Have a look at what the syringe reviving Firestorm looks like. It has no animation that takes forever, but it isn't an instant revive either. I feel like this is a nice middle ground because, as you will see later on in the field upgrades, this can be made a little bit faster. I feel that the revive in Battlefield 1 was too fast and the one in Battlefield 5 is too slow. So let's go back to the field upgrade options themselves. In each section you can select one, so you have 4 options. In the first upgrade path you have lower the cooldown on the revive. So in between reviving, the cooldown will go down from 5 seconds to 3.5 seconds, so you can revive multiple teammates quicker. The next one, perform a revive from further away. So say you were in cover and there was a player further away from you and you want to be able to stay in cover, you could do it with this perk. So it gets increased from 1 meter to 2 meters. The next one, speed up the time taken to perform a revive. so it goes from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. This is the field upgrade I was talking about earlier on, where you could speed up the revive, so it actually gets decreased from 1.5 to 1 second. The final one in this section is marking a player conceals them in smoke. So, like in Battlefield 1, you could have marked up a player and then smoke goes down on them. It's something very similar to that. And once you activate that, you then are not able to do it again for 30 seconds. So in this first section, I think we'll select to speed up the time taken to perform the revive. The second set of upgrades relates to healing and the functionality of the medic crate. So the first one is, medic crate healing is 50% faster. So the medic crates, in my idea, in my opinion, you return to the aura healing again. So you don't actually have to pick up a pouch from it. You can just be in and around it like in Battlefield 4 and it heals you. So in this first one, if you select it, the healing is 50% faster above what the base medic crate does. The second one can deploy 2 medic crates at the same time, but this would only have the normal healing rate. It doesn't have the faster healing rate the first one did. The third upgrade path. Medic crate healing area of effect is larger, so you can actually be further away from the medic crate and it would still heal you, and that goes up from 1.5 meters to 3 meters. The fourth and final one in this section is taking a pouch from the medic crate gives an instant 50% health and a 10% faster healing. So you still have the option to take a pouch if you wanted to and not stand around, and it gives you an instant 50% health back and then 10% faster healing. However, there would be a cooldown on the amount of time that they do give out the pouch to you, similar to what the resupply stations currently do in Battlefield 5, so you can't constantly get 50% health every 5-6 seconds or something. There is a cooldown on when you can take a pouch, but the medic crate still does do the aura healing on top of that. So in this second section, I think we'll select the double medic crates as the one we want in this one. The third set of upgrades in the medic tree become active during a revive or when you have just performed a revive in game. They are not passive perks like the previous 2 sets that are always active. Some, however, will not stack and some will not be available based on previous selections. You'll see what I mean by that later on. The first one, 10% health following the completion of a revive. So the person performing the revive gets 10% health back. The second one, 20% increase in movement speed for 8 seconds following a revive. So again, this isn't for the person being revived, this is for the person performing the revive. They get a 20% increase in movement speed. The third one, following a revive, smoke is deployed to conceal retreat. 30-second cooldown after use. This one will not be available if you previously selected concealed revive in the first section. So if I was to go back to the first section here and select concealed revive, then you can see here that this one we previously were on is unavailable for selection. Again, you can't really have it when you mark up a player, they're concealed, and then once you complete the revive, they're concealed again. You know, that's a bit OP, so you can only choose one or the other of these. The final one is you cannot be spotted when performing a revive. So in this one, I think we'll select 10% health following the completion of a revive. You know, we're a medic, we want to try and stay alive, so we'll go up and we'll pick that one. The fourth and final set of field upgrades in the defensive tree for a medic include drop crates give the option of adrenaline shots, allowing players to run 15% faster for 30 seconds. These can only be picked up once every 3 minutes. This does not matter if you attempt to take one from another medic's crate, it won't work. Speed boost does not stack with speed boost following a revive. So, highlighted here is kind of what I mean by this. When you walk up to a crate, it will bring up different options if the adrenaline shots are available. So, square is to pick up your normal medic pouch, and triangle would be to pick up an adrenaline shot if available. The second option in this section is you can spawn on one of your medic crates if there are no enemies around it. This option is not available if your squad gets wiped. However, there's a few drawbacks on it. Once you spawn on the crate, it is destroyed. A squad mate cannot spawn on one of your crates, and neither can they spawn on you for 30 seconds after you spawn in, having used your medic crate as a spawn point. On to the third option. Drop crates are pinged for squad mates when they are in need of health and within 30 meters of it. Quite handy when you're low on health and you're really needing a medic crate. It'll automatically be pinged for you when you have this selected. The fourth and final option was one that I originally selected for the support class, and when I go over it you will see it does make a lot more sense for the support class compared to the medic, but I was struggling for ideas so I just threw it in as the final one for the crate for the medic class. Drop crates can also be armed to detonate when an enemy is near and act like a proximity mine. A warning beep will be heard by the enemy as it gets closer. The blast can also do damage to the medic, or as it was meant for the support player, it could do damage to the support player that armed it. So this isn't like a trip mine. As you come closer to it, it may be hidden behind a wall. You will hear it beeping, and as you get closer the beep will get faster. Obviously if you intend to run past it, it'll get faster, and then when it gets at its fastest it will detonate. It's like a proximity mine. If quite close, the blast would kill a player at full health. I feel a feature like these field upgrades are important in a live service. It gives another dimension to the game other than adding more levels to grind towards or adding more weapons or gadgets. But I'm not finished yet. Each class would also have access to one special perk. Moving across here, these perks would be the same for all classes and include things like no bleed out. Now let me explain this a little bit better. I have done upgrade paths for all classes. I only chose to show the defensive medic, and in some of those classes they had access to a field upgrade called bleed out, where after doing critical hit damage to an enemy, that enemy would continue to lose 1 health every 1 second up to a max of 5 health lost. So if you got a player down to 2 or 3 health, and you then lost sight of them, well, unless they are near a medic crate or receive a health pouch, they will die. So going back to those special perks, if you equipped the no bleed out special perk, this would never happen to you. You would be protected from this. Another special perk could include 10% armor perk, similar to the perk that was in Battlefield 4. However, it would have one important difference. It would not have protection from headshots, only body shots. Building a system like this, and I can't say it enough, but adds a whole new element to the game. Don't you think? This is the type of depth and customization we haven't seen in a Battlefield game in quite a while. What are your thoughts on these ideas? Recently it was announced that Anthem, another EA game, will be getting completely reworked and revamped from the ground up. Do you think DICE could do the same with Battlefield 5 and include these? I doubt it, but I would love to see something like this in the next Battlefield game. Thank you for watching folks, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next video or stream. Thanks for watching.